want to leave anybody out. A little bit better. It's still really mellow. Oh, it's still
Longest 1 minute.
4:59 still.
Oh, yeah, not.
I now call the meeting of the Valley Center-Pauma Unified School District Board of Trustees to order. The time is 5 p.m. and please be advised that this meeting is being recorded and a quorum is present. Is there any comment on closed session agenda items?
No public comment tonight.
Okay, being none, we will now recess into closed session. is it? It's 6:03, and good evening. We are reconvening into open session of our regular meeting of the Valley Center-Pauma Unified School District Board of Trustees. And the time is 6:03. We have a quorum, and we will now stand and being led by the voice of the Jaguars, the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you, Mr. Tuttle. Approve the agenda, additions, deletions, corrections. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
A second? Any discussion? Being none, Member Benjamin,
Aye.
Member Caputo,
Aye.
Member Kolb Senior,
Aye.
Member Worthy,
Aye.
and Member Stroh votes aye. Reporting any action resulting out of closed session, we're going to report in closed session, the board took an action to issue a notice of non-election to a probationary certificated employee, a classroom teacher, ID 59098-9. And pursuant to the Education Code, Section 4921-21, effective at the end of the school year of 2024-2025 school year, and directed by the superintendent or designee to send out appropriate legal notice. This roll call vote was as follows. It was unanimous. Employee recognitions, our most favorite part of our meeting here. And we start off with our recognition and of our VCHS Employees of the Month, Fatima Rubio, classified, and Sandra Rincon, certificated. So Principal Nicole Clymer will make the presentation.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. All right, so our classified employee of the month, Fatima Rubio. We are so proud to recognize Fatima Rubio as Valley Center High School's classified employee of the year. As a dedicated member of our security team and a proud VCHS alum, Fatima is a central part of our school community, ensuring that our students and staff feel safe and supported every day. Her colleagues have shared just how much she means to our campus. One staff member noted, Fatima is such an essential person on our campus. She ensures our students and campus are a safe learning environment. Others emphasize the positive impact she has, saying, the relationships she has built with students and staff alike have promoted a positive environment on our school campus. She simply embodies the JAG 3 Rs, respect, responsibility, relationships. Fatima is known for being kind but firm, always professional, and incredibly reliable. She is also highly respected for her ability to connect with both students and staff, with one colleague saying, she has built a good rapport with our school community and is always so professional in her role. Another person shared, she's always smiling and happy. She will help anyone with anything they need. Fatima plays a crucial role in supporting students' well-being. She has strong relationships with both students and the community as a whole, allowing her to connect students to the right supports when needed. She's a vital link between students and staff, ensuring that every student feels heard and supported. In addition to her security role, Fatima goes above and beyond by assisting with IEP meetings as a skilled translator and helping staff and students in any way she can. One staff member summed it up perfectly. Fatima is kind, professional, and helpful, and she makes our school a better place. Fatima, your dedication and hard work do not go unnoticed. We're incredibly grateful for all you do for Valley Center High School. Congratulations on this well-deserved recognition.
Thank you guys so much. It means a lot. I really appreciate it. It's been just an honor to come back to the school where I attended and be a member of the staff. I love the kids. I love the community. And it truly is an honor to be nominated by my colleagues. It means a lot. It really, Valley Center is home. It'll always be home. And I am grateful that I'm able to assist and be a part of making the school, or trying to make the school a little bit better, or just loving on the kids. I firmly believe that if the kids know that you care and you love for them, like, they will respect you and they'll work for you or work with you. and that's been proven time and time again. I love the kids, I love the community, I'm very grateful, and again, it's such an honor. Thank you guys so much, I appreciate it. Oh, this is so sweet, thank you so much. Thank you.
We'll take a picture first, then I'll say something.
Okay, all right.
Oops, sorry.
Oh, get the other side. Better view. So, Fatima, the other thing we want to do, it's great to have an alumni come back and work with us. It's so much fun to see Fatima over the years. But you mentioned that the kids know that you love them because you do other stuff too. And I know through your work with the students at church and in the community, they really get that with you. And so, you know, it's really neat that you do all that with our students. And then when you come here, you have that relationship already built. So we want to give you one of our quarter or one of our coins, which the slogan, you live completely to the best, which is until every student, until the very last moment, we serve, we lead, we grow. And I think you exemplify that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And thank you from the board. We love you, and you're just radiant smile and how you connect with the students. That's what it's all about. And we're blessed to have you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, our classified employee of the year, Sandra Rincon. We're honored to recognize thank you so much, certificated employee of the year, Sandra Rincon. We are honored to recognize Sandra Rincon as Valley Center High School's certificated employee of the year for her dedication to her students, her passion for helping others, and her commitment to serving the community. Sandra's love for giving back and inspiring students to do the same is at the heart of her teaching. She empowers her students to become compassionate, engaged citizens who use their skills to make a difference. Her Advanced Placement Students Community Service Project is a shining example of this. Every year, Sandra leads her students in creating meaningful projects that directly impact the community, reinforcing the importance of civic engagement. This year, she led a student-driven fundraiser to support victims of the Los Angeles wildfires, guiding her students in organizing and executing the effort to make a meaningful impact and even driving up to Los Angeles to drop off the donations. A colleague shared Sandra has transformed her AP Spanish students into global citizens through her community service project. She not only teaches them about language and culture, but also about the importance of giving back. Another shared, she is a force of kindness and positivity on campus. In addition to her commitment to service, Sandra ensures that her students gain valuable life skills that benefit both themselves and the community. She has integrated CPR training into training for her Spanish 2 students, ensuring that they are not only learning a language, but also acquiring the ability to help others in emergency situations. Through this training, she reinforces the importance of responsibility, preparedness, and community participation, further instilling in her students a sense of purpose beyond the classroom. Sandra's passion for helping others is contagious. She's deeply loved and respected by students and staff, with one colleague stating, "She cares deeply for her students and the world. The work she does on our campus makes our community and others a better place." Sandra embodies the true spirit of service, education, and leadership. Through her selflessness, dedication, and drive to give back, she's created a lasting legacy of kindness and community engagement at VCHS. She has truly made our school, community, and the world beyond a better place. Congratulations, Sandra, on this well-deserved recognition as VCHS's Certificated Employee of the Year. And I think Mr. Bexler had a couple things to say.
Sorry, I don't mean to make the board meeting longer, but I was in Señora Rincon's Spanish 2 and AP Spanish class, so I wanted to say thank you. Y una de las razones que yo tenía éxito como maestro y como subdirector es tú. So I'm very honored that you got this award, and I said that one of the reasons I had such great success as a teacher and a assistant principal is because of Señora Rincon. So very grateful and very deserving. So,
Señora Rincon. Señora Rincon, I'm sorry, I also don't want to make this board meeting longer than it has to be. Kenny jumped the stick there a little bit, but I also wanted to thank you for all of your hard work and dedication and for all that you've done to all the students throughout your years. I have a little funny story about Señora Rincon. When I was in her AP class, I had a very high B+, and I was very upset that she wouldn't move it to an A-. I thought it would have a big impact on my life.
That's why you were mad.
Yeah. but I think that it just shows that she holds all of her students to such a high standard and such a high level, and she cares about everybody equally, and that's just the kind of person you are. So thank you for everything. And I was going to say something in Spanish, but now that Kenny's done it, I'm just going to leave it. And Kenny, it's usted, not tú.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you. Thank you. Fatima also was my student. Yeah, she was my former student too. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I'm grateful for this recognition. I thank God for it, and thank you for your support. Thank you, Tina. Thank you, Tina. Thank you, administrators. Thank you, Valley Center High School staff, classified, certificated, Valley Center High School students, and former students, because I realize that it's in community, working together, that we can achieve our goals, serving others and learning in the process. I'm blessed to be part of this family. Thank you very much.
Sandra, we have that same quarter for or coin for
Thank
you,
you.
and I appreciate it. You know, every month we get the list of who the employee of the month is, and when yours came through, and we really look at it as employee of the year for the school site, I was so glad and proud when your name came through. Sandra's been with us since 1999. I think it was the third year we were open, and you just never hear anything from Sandra. She just goes to work and gets the job done, and all you hear afterwards is kids like Michael and what you guys were saying about how wonderful you are. And I've just really enjoyed having you on the staff, and I know every year I'm going to get an email from her saying happy birthday. It's the nicest thing in the world.
23rd of April.
Yeah, I go, how does she always remember? But really, just really enjoyed working with you. And you know, Michael, she did share earlier with me that was kind of a give me for you to get a B+. So. But no, thank you, Sandra. You've been
Thank
great
you.
for our staff for, gosh, what was that, 25 or 6 years?
Yeah,
Yes.
yes, yes. And I want to say thank you. My son Trent
Yes.
had her, you know,
Yes.
if it's, maybe you got a C+, I don't know.
He won't say anything to Spanish.
But it was. But, gosh, look how full circle this is. I mean, all of you guys had her. She was here from the beginning, and I mean, this is what Valley Center's about. Not very many school districts are you gonna go to a school board meeting and find this. It's really special. So everybody who's here, we're a team, and thank you, everybody. You are doing an awesome job.
Great
And
job,
here you go.
Sandra.
Thank you very much.
Yep, there you go. Thank you. You've
you.
been a blessing for 26 years.
I think it was better with just the three of you in it.
No. Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
All right, so I'm super excited to present to you guys tonight our presentation. I've had a wonderful opportunity working with our algebra teachers this year. We have 2 new algebra teachers on our team. One is actually another alum, Ashton Larrabee, and then Sabrina Chrisman is new to us, but she's taught before. And then Amanda Walford's also part of the algebra team, and they have just done an amazing job this year transforming algebra for our students, and the impact has been significant, and I'm going to share that with you tonight. And I'm also going to learn how to use your clicker, so here we go. Good evening, Board President Stroh, Superintendent McCowan, members of the board, esteemed staff, and community members. My name is Nicole Clymer, proud principal of Valley Center High School, and I'm honored to be here tonight to share the incredible work our Algebra 1 team has done to improve student achievement and student confidence in mathematics. Over the past 7 months, our dedicated team of Algebra 1 teachers have implemented a number of strategies to help our students not only improve their grades, but also develop a stronger belief in their ability to succeed in math. Tonight, I'll share how our collaborative efforts have made a measurable impact, the strategies that have been most effective, and why this work is so important for our students' long-term success. Thank you for the opportunity to highlight the dedication and success of our team. Our Algebra 1 team's success is rooted in collaboration. Education isn't a solo act. It thrives when teachers work together. This year across our school site, we focused on 2 key priorities: building a positive culture and strengthening instruction through PLCs. In their weekly PLC meetings, teachers analyze data, share best practices, and adjust instruction in real time to meet student needs. This teamwork has been a driving force behind our students' growth. Pictured here is our amazing team. As I said earlier, there's Sabrina on the left, Amanda and Ashton on the right, and then Sabrina and I are actually at a math conference, and we're sitting on the floor because I saw a sign in one of our teachers' room. It said, every person is a math person. You just have to be a person and do math. And so at that conference, we were all math people. In the Algebra PLC meetings, Algebra 1 teachers didn't just collaborate, they took action. These meetings became a space for real-time problem solving and innovation, leading to key instructional shifts that directly impacted student success. Through PLC discussions, teachers implemented ongoing grade recovery, allowing students to demonstrate mastery over time. They introduced low-stakes collaborative practice to help students refine their skills in a supportive environment. The team also reorganized the course sequence to build on student mastery, boosting both understanding and confidence. Finally, by analyzing interim assessment data, they made informed adjustments to instruction, ensuring students receive the support they need when they need it. This commitment to continuous improvement has reshaped how we teach Algebra 1 and, most importantly, how our students experience math. The impact of the changes our Algebra 1 team has made is reflected in our students' confidence and growth. Rather than just telling you about the progress, I'd like for you to hear it directly from our students. Teachers Sabrina Chrisman and Ashton Larrabee conducted these interviews to uncover what specific strategies have helped students succeed this year, especially those who have struggled in the past.
Okay, so how did you feel in the beginning of the school year, like with math, when we started?
I didn't feel good about math because I liked my last teacher, but it wasn't as, like, I needed more explanation because I'm more of a visual learner than just like you tell me something and then I'm supposed to get it.
Yeah, so how do you feel now? Like in, what month are we in, March?
Yeah.
How do you feel in March compared to in August?
I feel really good about it. Like, I don't find math hard or like, it's
Do you find it scary still?
Not really anymore.
That's good.
It kind of like went from one of my least favorite subjects to one of the ones that's more up there.
Oh, yeah.
Because I understand it more, because when I don't get something, it's just like, not okay. But
Yeah.
since I understand it, it's just like,
What's key about that interview is when she says, I'm not scared of math anymore, that's foundational to anything. You think about when you have had to learn something new, if you're afraid of it, you're just a little bit more nervous, you've got anxiety, you might not be as prone to learning, but when you're not afraid, you're just ready to dig in, and I love that she highlighted that. As you just heard, understanding math has made a huge difference for our students, but just as important is the opportunity to keep growing. Our approach to ongoing credit recovery and test retakes isn't only about grades, it's about giving students a chance to redeem themselves, rebuild their confidence, and truly master the material. In this next video, you'll hear how the ability to retake tests and recover credit has empowered students to take ownership of their learning and see setbacks as opportunities rather than roadblocks.
Do you guys like that, like, you take the quiz and then the next time you see the quiz, you get to do it, like, and that quiz score replaces the better one and all of that?
Yeah, I feel
And, like, the unit tests, like, it builds quiz, and unit tests. Do you feel like all that kind of helps you feel more confident by the time you get to the unit tests?
yeah, I feel like that like makes me more like better about myself and like my grades in this class because you give us a chance to redeem ourselves.
Yeah, so you always have that opportunity to be like, okay, I didn't get it this week, but next time I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add?
no.
Miss Crystal is the best.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. And Claudia, in that video, when she says, you give us a chance to redeem ourselves, I think, again, another key point, providing the students with multiple opportunities for them to demonstrate learning. And these tests, when they retake the test, they're not the same questions. So it's not like the kids are having the same exact test in front of them. They're different questions asked in a different way with different formulas, different numbers, but the outcome is the same. The teachers are wanting to see, do you know the material now? And if not, what are we going to do next? One of the intervention strategies to come out of the PLC meetings was the grade remediation action plan. We recognized that many students who were struggling weren't just often behind, they didn't know where to start. Our goal was to provide clear, structured support to help them regain confidence and improve their understanding. To do this, the Algebra 1 team developed a targeted remediation plan focused on essential skills from previous units. Students received a structured packet with 6 key worksheets, each linked to personalized instructional videos. While this was designed for students with D's and F's, it was made available to all. To ensure mastery, students were required to complete the packet and attend at least one tutoring session before reassessment. This approach gave students not just a second chance at a grade, but a real opportunity to build their foundational skills and grow as math learners. Just like with adults, students need more than one time to see the material and be assessed, and this support gave them the chance to do just that. And so when students received this sheet, you could scan it with your phone, and then it linked directly to a video that our teachers have done. So it's not just some video out on YouTube. Our individual teachers made their own instructional videos to match to the strategies that the students needed to learn and needed remediation on. The success of our Algebra 1 team is about a combination of intentional practices that create a supportive learning environment. It's not just one thing. Beyond remediation and retakes, our team has prioritized frequent check-ins, low-stakes practice, and multiple opportunities for guided learning to ensure every student has access to the support they need. In this next video, you'll see how these key practices are making a difference in our classrooms and in student confidence.
I like the way how you check in with us and make sure that we understand, and if we don't, you'll help us individually. And I think that the fact that you're so energetic all the time, it gives us all motivation to do the work and not just sit there. And then we also don't also have to worry if it's hard or not, because you always will. Like, go up to us and ask if we got it, and if we understand it. If we don't, then you'll just show us one-on-one. Or if it's a table problem, we'll go and you'll get a whiteboard and you'll just show us how to do it, and then we'll understand it and we'll get it done.
So you can hear Nathan talking about multiple different types of ways that the teachers have provided low stakes practice for the students, where it's not high anxiety, it's not scary for the student, it allows the student multiple low entry points to get into the curriculum and not be afraid and play around and be curious about math. Active learning is key to student success. 2 powerful strategies, reciprocal teaching and vertical whiteboards, are making a big impact in our classrooms. With reciprocal teaching, students deepen their understanding by teaching a problem to a student. Vertical whiteboards promote teamwork, with students solving problems collaboratively in assigned roles. This video showcases how these strategies are making math accessible for our students.
So what about this year? Like, what has helped, like things that we've done in class, what has helped you feel more confident?
When we do like all the like group like work where you have that paper where we each teach each other, I feel like that's good, because if you, like how you said, if you know how to teach someone, then you're obviously gonna know how to do it. So if you can like show someone like how to do the work.
The reciprocal teaching. Okay.
Yeah, so that like really helped. I like
Does that help you like learn it and like
memorize it too?
get it too?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else that you feel like has helped you?
Going to the whiteboards, because like that one, like I feel like that's way better than just sitting down all the time. It gets your brain working.
And she's right. Research shows when the students are up and moving around, they're activating different parts of their brain, which makes the learning more engaging for them. And the other part, and I'll show you this right now. So on the right-hand side, there's a picture of students using the vertical whiteboards that Hema was just talking about. The teacher has the ability to look around the room while the students are doing the problems to be able to quickly course correct anywhere where the students are going off track. And the students also have the ability to check their work too, so they're monitoring their own learning. On the left-hand side, you can see Ashton Larrabee. She's working with a small group of students. When you walk through our math classrooms, you can see our students are grouped into small groups. The purpose is to increase academic discourse, so the students are dialoguing about what they're doing, also problem solving together. And again, this is all designed to reduce the anxiety, to allow students to play in the math and learn the math in a place where it's not scary for them. And now I'm going to turn it over to our intervention TOSA, Jeff Tuttle, and he's going to talk about what do we do when students are struggling. Go, Jeff.
Thank you, Mrs. Clymer. So what you see up there are 3 of our future teachers working in those same algebra classes. Future Teachers is a program we started this year. We got direction to sort of tighten up our teacher's aid program for more accountability and to better balance our electives among the seniors. And so what we did is start an actual class that runs all 6 periods. It's called Future Teachers, and it combines coursework with basic intro to education, secondary education work and quizzes and things, with them being on call for anybody on the staff. There's a a button they can click on their desktop, and then we get the request, or they can still call or email if they've been here for a while, you know. And that they get experience in a lot of different aspects of teaching. And it's great to see both ends of that, because we deal with the freshmen with bar, but then these senior future teachers, more than one of them came back and they're like, when I was a freshman, this was so hard, and I look at it now and it's so obvious. I'm like, well, your brain's been growing and maturing for 3 years, you know, you are learning. And then it was also nice to see the seniors like, we like these new teachers. Who are they? Because they never had them. And I'm like, oh, good job. So it's been really good program all around. And it's not just for algebra. It's for any class, any function, and sort of all of our programs are like that. They're benefiting algebra, but the future teachers, the bar, the 9-time, the SST program that we've expanded, sort of all ties in, and we're seeing really good results in math, and I think you'll see that across the board soon. So, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so what does it all mean? So the data. So what you're looking at here, the gold on the left-hand side is our data from last year. I know the numbers are a little small, and I'll explain in a second. And the teal is this year, and this is based on Algebra 1 first semester end grade data, so the grades that the students get in December. The student interviews you saw earlier confirm what our data shows our strategies are working. By implementing intentional research-based strategies, our Algebra 1 team has helped transform student outcomes. A through C grades, ensuring UC A through G eligibility, meaning students can transfer directly to a four-year university, have risen from 41% to 77%. A through D grades critical for graduation have climbed from 60% to 83%. These numbers represent real students who now see themselves as capable mathematicians and who aren't afraid of math. All right, our F data. One of the most powerful indicators of our success this year is the dramatic drop in F grades. The percentage of students earning no credit has fallen from 39% to just 16%. This shift not only impacts student success now, it also has a ripple effect on our entire school. With over half as many students needing to retake Algebra 1, there's a significant change to our master schedule, freeing up resources and allowing more students to advance in their math pathways. Instead of repeating a course, these students can now move forward better prepared for college and career. Most importantly, this progress is reshaping how students see themselves as learners. They're no longer defined by past struggles in math, and they now have the skills, support, and confidence to continue their success beyond Algebra 1. We are super proud of our team. All right. At Valley Center High School, Algebra 1 has transformed into a course where students build confidence, close learning gaps, and demonstrate deeper learning than ever before. This progress is just the beginning. Moving forward, our focus is on expanding these strategies across all math courses, strengthening the PLC collaboration across departments, and investing in professional learning to refine effective practices. Your continued support ensures we sustain this growth, empowering every student to see themselves as capable mathematicians. Thank you for believing in our students, our teachers, and the power of what a group of dedicated, passionate, and determined educators can do. Thank you very much.
Can I ask a couple questions?
Of course.
That was wonderful. How many times can a student retake the test or quiz? Is it just within a semester or what?
Yes, so it's all bound within the limits of our semester, but basically a student has the first opportunity to take the assessment, whatever the first opportunity is, and then on subsequent assessments, there's a section at the bottom where part of the assessment is the new stuff, and then there's a section on the bottom where the student can redo material from previous assessments. And so just like the material really does spiral over the course of the semester and the year, we're providing multiple opportunities for the students to demonstrate that same learning over the course of the year. Because the whole goal is, by the end of the semester and by the end of the year, do the students know the material? That's the goal.
No, I love it, because if you get an F on your first test, then it kind of hoses you.
Yes.
Your grade is automatically down for the rest of the semester.
Yeah, your confidence tanks,
I love it. That's great. So how do we implement this to the other levels of math? It's great for Algebra 1.
They're working on it. So Ashton teaches both algebra and she teaches geometry. So she's been working with our geometry team to take those same strategies that are working in algebra and move them through our other courses. And they're just starting to do that, and we are just starting to see the results of that. So it's super exciting.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And then Mr. Tuttle, how many future teachers are in that class?
Well, we have, we limit it to 4 per period.
Oh, okay.
But we have now, I have, I think 17 right now.
Oh, wow.
6 periods.
Sweet.
2 males, so
All
that's.
right.
It could be up to 24.
Okay. That's awesome.
And
I
that
love
was something at the beginning of the school year, we realized, we have students that are struggling, especially in our freshman classes. And aside from what all the things the teachers are doing in those rooms to make it happen for the kids, how else can we leverage our resources? And we have these students that are TAs. Some of these kids want to be educators. So how can we get these kids trained up, supporting our students, and have them come back to teach for us later on?
Yeah.
So this is really the strategy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you.
This is so exciting because we've just implemented and purchased a brand new math because of math.
Yeah.
Nationwide has been so challenging, but
Yeah.
what you guys are doing, I mean, this is serious improvement.
It's huge.
From 31% to 77% increase, and then the diminishing of the lower
Yeah.
grades. I mean, congratulations to all that have been a
Yeah.
part of getting that infrastructure there. And I would say that, I know way back in the day when I was at Point Loma getting one of my teachers, what we did is the tests, the redos, and giving kids a second chance. And some teachers like that, some teachers thought, oh, well, you're just giving, but the confidence that they were saying that they are getting from doing that. And then the teachers going the extra mile and helping them to get those foundational steps into increasing what the end product is. But that is huge thing. And I would think that can be implemented into any class
Yes.
with that. But what a great thing. So congratulations to your staff and the
Yes.
people that spearheaded that. So
Thank you.
exciting.
Super
So
proud.
anybody else have?
And just a couple thoughts. One, I want to congratulate you.
Huge.
As a principal, great job in getting this implemented, something we've been trying to do for years. Paul, back to your question. We expect this to be implemented in our geometry, our algebra 2s for next year, and then looking back down towards the middle school to have that also implemented in the middle school. So it's just kind of a thing that they're just going to start doing. So, and just to put some things, we're talking about individual kids here. So we average about 250 kids a year in algebra. And if we're going to fail roughly 40%, which is what it was before, that's 120 kids a year, at 120 kids a semester that have to retake that math class. You can make that down to 16. Now that's 40 kids a year. And what happens with us is, and as a high school principal, we lose kids as freshmen. That's when they start to go down that path that they're not going to get to the A through G, or they're not going to complete high school. It happens a freshman year, and algebra is one of the main classes it happens in because it is a tough course. So to see this kind of growth in it is just amazing. And so just hats off to you, the algebra team, and just real excited to see where this goes further. The other thing I'd like to say is, I had a real simple philosophy. I feel that if kids enjoy school, they're going to do better in school. And I've always been told I was kind of simple. And, when I go in these algebra classes now, the kids are smiling. I mean, there's just a different atmosphere in those algebra classes. And just to defend my simplicity a little bit, I was doing a little bit of history on the elementary school, and the first principal there was Paul R. And when he was hired, the statement in the newspaper says, principal's philosophy, if students enjoy school, they do better. So maybe it's not so simple after all. But really, that's what I see coming alive in those algebra classes. So great job. Hats off to your team there in the math department. So thank you.
Very proud. Thank you.
And also in your presentation, having those videos, and what came through is it not being scary.
Yeah.
And that's huge because people are scared of math. I know I
It is
was,
huge.
but,
And there were so many more videos that I just didn't have time
I'm
to
sure.
show you, and
Yeah.
just so fun. So yeah, super
Yeah.
proud. Thank you guys.
And Jeff, the future teachers of, I want to say America, but future teachers, I remember at Escondido High School years ago, they had a class that probably only lasted a little bit, but I remember being in that class, and that is wonderful, and that you've got the males in there too, so go get them.
Good job, Jeff.
Wait, we are right here. Do we have anyone request to address the board? Being
No request tonight.
none, we are going to move into the consent agenda. Do I have a motion regarding the consent agenda? Motion.
President Stroh, I reviewed this month's purchase orders. My questions have been answered, so I move to approve the consent agenda, including the updated personnel list.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
And any discussion?
Nope.
Being none, let's vote. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Member Kolb Senior? And Member Worthy? Member Strove votes aye. Moving to the Superintendent Division, I now turn it over to Superintendent McCowan.
So I'm gonna grab the clicker right now. Some of you guys that have been to board meetings before, we appreciate all the staff that come to honor Sandra and Fatima who walked out. And, well, I shouldn't say she walked out, who had to go down to, I think, a youth group meeting. And so, but we've been keeping the audience just a little bit longer through the superintendent's report because they're mostly celebrations. So we want you guys to be here so we can celebrate with you. Then we'll let you go about your evening, okay? So, and I'll try to be quick. Am I going too fast?
No, keep going.
Oh, I'm going the wrong way.
There you go.
Okay. So just a real quick update. We did meet at 3:30 at the B School. We walked that campus and we did take a look at some different ideas for the projects of how we want to do some improvements on that campus. We will continue these walkthroughs at all the different school sites as we start to relook at how we're going to spend roughly $12 to $14 million that we have for facilities with the bond not passing. And we'll be, as we look at each one of those schools, we'll start looking at what is it possible to get done, and then how we want to go about that as a board.
Yeah, real quick, it was great to walk through the facility, see what kind of dream we have, but also reality, how much money we have to spend. So next month, I'm not sure what school we'll walk through next month, but yeah, I'd be curious to know what are some of the realistic projects that we can afford to do, and then we can pick and choose how we best use that money at the different sites, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's what we'll try to do at the next visits, is we'll say, we did the master facilities plan. We narrowed it down to different projects at different sites, and then when we do that tour, we'll kind of mark off for you guys, this is what we probably can do, and here's kind of the dream of what we'd like to do.
Cool.
And our plan is to hit all the schools right up to about summertime, and then during the summer, we'll probably hold a special board meeting where we'll talk specifically and only facilities. So, thank you. And the next one will be warmer and not raining.
Yeah, it was
Promise.
cold and windy. Oh.
Ag Day,
Can I
unfortunately,
say
this is,
one- I just wanted to let people know that the community is invited to those walkthroughs as well. So it was great. And
yep. And we had a very, one of our community members is also in charge of facilities at the Vista School District. So he joined us and actually was quite knowledgeable and helped out. Ag Day, unfortunately, we did have to cancel tomorrow. This is the second year in a row, but this year we're going to make every effort possible to actually postpone it. Last year we weren't able to pick a date, but this year we're going to find a new date and make sure our kids get to the ag farm. The other thing, our long-standing ag teacher, Mrs. White, will be retiring this year. We'd love to make sure she gets a last ag day before retirement. So we're going to make that happen, right, Mark?
Yes.
Evals are up in May for administrators. Empowering families through education. This is a great program, our Mono Foundation. It's just a group that gets together with AmeriCorps, providing valuable evening workshops for our Spanish-speaking parents. This covers everything from education, drug awareness, domestic violence, mental health for their students. It's just kind of encompasses everything from family and education. So I want to thank our people for putting that on this last month. Driving Towards Success. These are our students in Mr. Whitcomb, in Mr. Bertram's automotive class. These kids with the certificates in front, they all received that they had passed one of the ACE tests, which then means they can work in that area. The gentleman right in the middle of the three with the certificate, he must have had about, what, Mark, 12 different ones that he had passed over the last 2 or 3 years here. So just outstanding in everything from brake systems to light systems, that the different things with the car. Behind him, which we're going to bring out next week and show you, or next month, is the new electrical vehicle that Mr. Bertram went through like a weeks-long course on how to get our students up to speed with working on electric vehicles. Thanks. Career Day at the primary. You can see we got all kinds of kids dressed up. Just a beautiful day there. I was able to go. I guess one of the kids was interested in the career of a superintendent. So had a lot of fun speaking it to the classes and also reading books to them. Here's our expanding community and, what's that? Say it again? Oh, yeah. The little ones are really crazy about who the superintendent is. It's kind of fun. If all my students were like kindergartners, I'd have a fan club, I think. Each one of our administrators is part of a service club in town. So this is kind of and what's happening in town is some of our service clubs, they're just, they're folding because there's not as many people volunteering. So we've had to kind of branch out into our definition of what a service club is. So we wanted to highlight this service club. This is a hiking club in Valley Center, and Craig is our administrator that goes to those meetings. And Jameson, where's Jameson? Our hiker. They went on a community hike down at the Wilderness Gardens down in Pauma Valley. And you can see this is just a part of the people that was there. It was actually a good-sized crowd. A lot of students, a lot of parents, and quite a few teachers and a couple of administrators. So they're going to be doing hikes probably every other month or so. I think Hannah, I don't remember Hannah's last name, but Engelstrom, she used to be at Quantium, but she's kind of heading up the hiking club. So when you see those come out, announcements, jump in one of them. Still going the wrong way. Read Across America, you can see we have our fire department there. They were there for the Read Across America. Every kid loves the fire department, so it was a lot of fun to see them there. I'd also just want to thank the fire department. I think we're going to get to the Stop the Bleed a little bit later, but the support that they give out to our schools and to our kids and how kind they are and how much attention they give them is just outstanding. Really appreciate our fire department up here. Cybersecurity awareness, this was put on by Leone and the middle school over there. They had a day where they went through all their students and showed them different things to keep themselves safe on out on the cyber net. And we also had a parent one in the Maxine that evening. A very successful event for our students. Really wish we get more parents and community members at it. I think we had 3 parents for English and 3 for Spanish. But I'll tell you, if those 3 have the conversation with 10 of their friends, then, you know, it's more than worth doing. The Stop the Bleed training here. So the Assembly passed a bill in California that all classrooms in public schools and private schools will have a Stop the Bleed kit. Next year, the next bill kicks in that says that all teachers have to be trained on how to use them. So ours, we're going to sit in a classroom for a year and people wouldn't know how to use them. So luckily, with the fire department, once again, we were able to train all the high school and middle school teachers, I think back in November or December. And then we had one postponed because of the wind, and then now we finally got to our elementary teachers. One of the things that we're going to try to look at breaking out from this with the fire department's help is to look at training all of our freshmen in Stop the Bleed. Because really the training that they receive in here is some firsthand safety or first aid that you can do that could easily save a life, more likely at home than probably at a school setting. The other thing the fire department helps us with, which we're planning, in fact, Jeff Tuttle is helping with that, is them and the Army get together so that each one of our seniors will graduate with CPR training. So if we can say that our seniors actually graduate with Stop the Bleed training and the CPR training, I think we're releasing some kids out there into the society that will be helpful if something arises. We have a play this week. The last night you can see it, and that's at the middle school. And 14th, that'll be tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. And then March 16th, so you get 2 more chances, a 1 o'clock matinee. So hopefully you'll get out there. I know it's a great play. Our open houses for everybody in the board, you can see them up there. We have 2 at Lilac Primary Elementary in Pauma. Great time to get out. Spring's there. Students are all excited to show their work, and so we encourage everybody to get there. We also have Goldie. She is coming. She is a survivor of the Holocaust, and she'll be speaking in the Maxine for the community on April 2nd, and then she'll be speaking to our 8th grade and 10th grade students on April 3rd. So she's going to do 2 different programs for us. Really encouraging people in the community to get there. I think we all know that generation that unfortunately had to experience these atrocities, they're slowly disappearing, and it's one of the last chances for the newest generation to hear that before those stories, as far as being, for live firsthand, are going to disappear from us. So very excited about that. And then the auction, 26th annual. Julie Stroh has been part of running every one of those auctions, and Jolinda, a ton of people. but definitely get there. We want to make sure and make this one of our biggest events of the year, and it is our biggest fundraiser of the year. So we're looking excited to that. And then celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Valley Center Elementary School. We're going to be doing that on May 29th at 4 p.m. at the elementary school. That is also the same day that it's a weekend of Western Days, so we're joining in with Western Days, and they're going to announce who the honorary mayor is at the event at the elementary school. So that'll bring some of our community into that school, and then obviously we have actually quite a few alumni on the committee we've formed. Beatrice, who's the secretary at that school, was there the first year that it opened as a student, and Mike, I'll say the name wrong, Sadeo, was also a student there. Now, the problem with this anniversary is they want us to find the 50-year time capsule. But everybody that went to school there is pointing to different places of where it's at, and each one of those places is 6 feet or 6 inches under the cement. So we're going to have to kind of fine-tune that before we start cracking up cement and trying to find this time capsule. But that should be a really good event for our district. The other thing that we're looking forward to in July will actually be the 25th anniversary of the Unified School District. So I can't believe it's been 25 years, but that's what we're closing in on. And with that, if there's not any questions, can I dismiss them?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yes. And thank you for bringing that up, because we've talked with like Colleen and trying to figure out when we can take our different, because in reality, a lot of I'm thinking of maintenance and operations right now, they're out in the field working with tools where that could happen to the employee right next to them, or they're out on those playground areas where they would see it with a student. So it is very important that we get all of our classified trained too, so that's our next step. The state law was just for teachers, which I'm not sure why they didn't just include everybody that works with kids, which, you know, I think would make more sense. So Christine, thank you, but yeah, we are definitely going to get to you guys. And with that, thank you guys for coming and listening to the exciting part. The rest is exciting too, but we're paid to be here. So if you guys don't want to stay, feel free to go. We'll take a 5-minute recess.
Take a 5-minute recess. are on to nominate members for CSBA Delegate Assembly, and we don't need to there's 6 spots available. We nominate as many, sometimes we've only done a few, or the whole 6. So I have I have a few that I kind of vetted through. I have 3. Does anybody have nominations that they think they would like to put forward? I'll say my 3. And I did call people, so, because we get this type. So, and quite a few of them called me back, so that was good. And I have 3. Barbara Avalos, and Barbara Ryan, and Bob Weller. Those 3, I think, are in line with what our board, our district, our platform of what we want about education and teachers. And so those are who I nominate. Any others?
Julie, could you add what school the district they're from
Sure,
for me, please?
sure.
Thank you.
One is from National San Diego, and one is from, she's from Santee, and then the other one, Bob Weller, is from Escondido Union. So those are the 3 districts, and that's what I move forward.
All right. Can you make that motion, or
am
do I need
making
to?
that.
Oh, you're making the motion.
I will make that, I
Okay.
guess.
Then I will second that
Yep,
motion.
okay.
Yeah.
And a second, any further discussion? Being none, let's vote. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Member Kolb Senior?
Aye.
Member Worthy?
Aye.
And Member Stroh votes aye. Educational Services, approval of updated EL reclassification criteria. Do I have a motion?
A motion.
Okay. And a second?
I'll s-
Okay. And any discussion on that? Being none, let's vote. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Member Kolb Senior?
Aye.
Member Worthy?
Aye.
And Member Stroh votes aye. Approval of updated EL master plan. Do I have a motion?
A motion.
Member Worthy makes a motion, and a second.
I'll make a second.
Member Benjamin, second. Any further discussion? Being none, let's vote. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Member Kolb Senior?
Aye.
Member Worthy?
Aye.
And Member Stroh votes aye. Business Division. Present, Chief Business Officer Michael Avalos will present.
Thank you, President Stroh. Before I get started, once again, I would just like to quickly thank the business office and everybody in that department. They put a lot of hard work into this district's finances day in and day out, 12 months a year. But a special thank you to our Director of Finance, Laura Thomas. She's been actually doing 2 jobs for a couple weeks, and I know how stressful that can be. And she knocked this second interim out of the park. So thank you to all of those involved. I guess I'll say next. So this is a side-by-side comparison of our budget assumptions between budgeted option that the board adopted back in June and the second interim report. The second interim report is our last chance of the year to update our assumptions that were made earlier this year. And it includes actual data through the end of January. The increase in revenue that you see above is mainly due to increases in grants, such as our title programs and the California Community Schools grant. And the expenditures also increased, and those are a reflection of those grants. So as we get more revenue, we also budget for the expenditures of that revenue for those grants. One thing that I would like to note is that this does include a negotiated agreement with the classified union. But since the tentative agreement with the certificated union didn't come before the end of this report, this does not include that amount in these fiscal figures. Looking forward to future years, above you will find our assumptions for our multi-year projection. Our average daily attendance continues to hover around the 91 to 92% range. Pre-COVID, that was closer to 94%, but we've definitely gone up quite a bit since the, I guess you would say, valley a couple years ago when it was closer to 89%. And our unduplicated pupil percentage continued to rise over those years, and now it's hovering around 65%. The UPP is really important because it affords us with supplemental and concentration grant funds. These are a little bit more restrictive funds, but they do help offset to the declining revenue we're receiving because of our declining enrollment and attendance. In this slide, you can see the impact of our current assumptions on the unrestricted ending fund balance. As our enrollment in ADA decline, we anticipate experiencing significant declines in our reserves over the next couple of years. However, we do project to have a healthy enough balance in our reserves that it is our recommendation that the board adopt a positive certification for the second interim report. Here are some budget considerations that we're keeping an eye on. Our declining enrollment and our ADA continue to outpace the COLA, so that means although we get a COLA every year and it fluctuates anywhere from like 1% to 4%, the fact that we have lower ADA means that this COLA does not actually end up being a net positive for us. Another major concern of our district is the structural budget deficit. Without action, the district's general fund reserves will continue to decline year over year. And with the expiration of one-time funds, we're also tasked with shuffling these funds from these restricted programs into unrestricted, which puts another burden on our unrestricted ending fund balance. And lastly, the state is currently projecting huge deficits in the upcoming years. And since they set aside roughly 40% of their budget for public school education, that's a major concern for us. So that's something that we'll keep an eye on. The next step is the governor's May revision, and that should give us further direction for next year, but we'll see what happens in the out years. I hope that's not a sign. As stated in the previous slide, the district continues to experience declining enrollment. Following COVID, we were held harmless, but unfortunately now the funding formula has returned to normal, and so our anticipated revenue will continue to be negatively impacted by this decline in enrollment. And this slide is meant to serve that illustration of the large decline in revenue. So for the first time in probably like half a decade now, you can see that we're anticipating a drop in revenue. And then with the increase in staffing costs and the other costs like PERS and STIRS, the declining revenue is a major concern for us. But I think it can be categorized again going back to those one-time funds. So following COVID, we got the CARES Act and then the American Rescue Plan that infused millions of dollars into our budget. So now that we're kind of normalizing, you'll see more normal budgets that more reflect our actual situation of declining ADA and enrollment. So what's next? Soon the governor will release his May revise for the next fiscal year, and we will carefully analyze this proposal in light of the budget deficit for the state. And we will also continue to monitor the changing landscape in Washington and keep an eye on potential changes to federal funds that we may receive. After the governor's May revise, we will update our final assumptions before bringing next year's 2025-26 budget to you for your approval in June. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions anybody may have. I know.
I want to say thank you and to your staff for doing all that work, and I know it's huge in trying to keep us where we are, and thank you for that.
Thanks.
Can I just add a few things? Great presentation, Michael, and thank you again to your department. One of the things, and I think the board has been reading the newspapers, you'll see that quite a few districts across the county are doing layoffs at this point in time. We just want to update you. We have looked at this, and we've come to the board before and told you that we're going to try to address our structural deficit through attrition between retirements and resignations and be able to bring that structural deficit down to where it's more manageable. And right now, we are still on pace for that. If we were going to do any layoffs this year, that would have been already done at this board meeting. You know, we don't have a crystal ball to look into the future, but it does look, as we look at our reserves, we look at our predictions, that we have a 3 to 4 year, 2-4 year grace period where we can continue to address our structural deficit without doing those layoffs. And I know Julie was on the board the last time, and I think she's the only person when we did have to do that back in 2018. It is no fun. And so we're dedicated to making sure that we can address our issues without taking that step towards layoffs. It's just, you don't rebound very quickly from the morale that can cause. So just want to reassure the board that that's our direction, and that's what we are trying to accomplish through this. And so far, Michael's done a very good job with that, and our principals and our other administrators, and looking at where we can reduce some of those structural deficits. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, and we will make a motion to
Approved.
move forward. Go ahead.
So moved.
Okay, and a second?
I'll second.
Okay, any further discussion? Thank you for the great report. And we'll vote. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Member Culp Senior?
Aye.
Member Worthy?
Aye.
And Member Stroh votes aye. Moving forward to Human Resources, we will take that into Craig with disclosure of ratification of a tentative collective bargaining agreement between the district and VCPEA.
Yes, so the board has in front of you this evening a tentative agreement that was reached between the district and the Valley Center-Pauma Educators Association. We negotiated over 7 sessions, starting back in before Christmas. I think in October is when we started and finished up last week. We had some fruitful discussions, sometimes difficult discussions, as happens in negotiations, but I do want to thank all the members of both teams for their participation. For the members of our team, Mesa, Michael, and Leani, and on the VCPEA team, there's Cami, Kimberly, Rosa, Amanda, and Andrew, who are all members of those teams. So everybody who's a member of the negotiation teams, they have to take time out from their sort of normal daily job to participate in these discussions, and so we thank everybody for making that sacrifice and doing that. So we present this tentative agreement to you with a recommendation for approval this evening.
Thank you, and thanks to all who worked on this and that we are moving forward. So do I have a motion?
A motion.
Okay, and a second?
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? No? All right, let's vote. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Member Culp Senior?
Aye.
Member Worthy?
Aye.
And Member Stroh votes aye. Okay, moving into summary of recommendations and actions for compensation for district executives. This matter is being held in an open session at a regular meeting of the board in accordance with the Brown Act Code Section 54953, Subdivision C3. States that before taking final action on executive compensation, the board must orally summarize the recommendations for the final action on the salary, compensation, and fringe benefits that will be considered. On behalf of the board, I will summarize the compensation provisions in the proposed hang on. I know, but this glare, okay, there we are. Amendments to the, hang on a second. Yeah.
It is
I've
kind
got-
of small
Do
and
you
red.
see it? No, do you see it? It's kind of all mushing together. Of employment contracts for the district assistant superintendent, chief business official, and superintendent. After public comment, and this board will consider do you see all the shadows on here? And take action on this item. The proposed amendments of each of the contracts would provide each of the district's executive employees with a 1.17% salary increase at the same effective date as provided by this board. I'm sorry, I've got to go like this, so there, yeah. Is it the rain? I think it's the rain.
It's definitely the
See
rain.
all these shadows? Okay. Hey, where am I? To management and non-management classified or certificated employees of the district. All of the aspects and provisions relating to compensation of the current employment contracts between the board and its executive employees would remain in full force and effect. Right? There we go. Boy, do you see these shadows? Do we have any public comments on this action item before the board takes its final action? Sorry for the poor. Okay. Did you get what I read? Okay, so approval of the amendment to the employment agreement for the following executive level employments and the district chief business officer, Michael Avalos. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
This
Oh.
way. Second. Yeah.
Keisha seconds.
Second, Keisha did. And any further discussion? No. Let's vote. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Member Kolb Senior? Member Worthy?
Aye.
Member Stroh votes aye. And this is approval of an amendment to the employment agreement for the following executive level employee of the district, Assistant Superintendent Mark Halewood. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
And a second? Second. And any further discussion?
No.
Okay, let's vote. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Member Kolb Senior? Member Worthy?
Aye.
And Member Stroh votes aye. And approval of the amendment to the employment agreement of the following executive level employee of the district and its Assistant Superintendent Craig Wiblemo. Do I have a motion? And a second?
I'll second.
Second? Any discussion? Let's vote. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Member Kolb Senior? Member Worthy?
Aye.
And Member Stroh votes aye. Last one, no, two more. Approval of the amendment to the employment agreement for the following executive level employee of the district's Superintendent Ron McCowan. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
I'll second.
And any further discussion? Being none, let's vote. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Member Kolb Senior? Member Worthy?
Aye.
Member Stroh votes aye. And approval of new job description buyer. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Okay, any further discussion?
No.
Okay, I think this is a great move because that job's huge. Let's vote. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Member Kolb Senior? Member Worthy?
Aye.
Member Stroh votes aye. And moving into advanced planning, regular board meeting will be April 10th, 2025 at 6 p.m. at VCHS Media Center.
And I'd like to suggest, as we look at the next meeting, that our visit be down to Pauma Elementary School, and we'll get back to you if that's going to work out, but that's the one we'll plan on visiting.
Oh, that our visit.
At 3:30, go to 4:30. Well, actually, did I hear that somebody wanted to meet a little bit earlier so we
Well-
could discuss longer afterwards?
3:30 works for me.
3:30 is best?
3:30
Okay.
is probably good.
We'll be
We just wanna
3:30
make
at
sure.
Pauma, and then we'll get that out to you guys.
Okay, so, and you guys are all invited, and thank you all for your hard work and what you do in making our whole school district very positive for our students. Thank you, and safe driving home. We're going to adjourn. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay, and a second?
I'll second.
And any discussion? Being none, let's vote. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Member Kolb Senior? And Member Stroh votes aye, and it's 7:13, meeting adjourned. Safe travels home in this rain, way back.